Hello everyone! A couple of you requested if I could do the story of Lilian Voss, and I would love to, but to understand the story, we first had to talk about Sylvanas and the Scarlet Crusade. The Scarlet Crusade was created from members of the Order of the Silver Hand. These were the first paladins who joined the alliance against the Horde, but when the plague hit Lordaeron and Arthas turned to the dark side, the Order lost a lot of members. A new organization was formed with not only paladins as members, and they called themselves the Scarlet Crusade, which their main mission was to cleanse the land of the Scourge. Seydan Davrohan was one of the first members of the Order of the Silver Hand, and he was a founding member of the Scarlet Crusade. During an attack on Strathholm, he was killed by the Dreadlord Balnazar, and Balnazar didn't just want his life, he also wanted his body so he could infiltrate the Crusade from within and deal some serious damage. For example, he's responsible for the Headless Horseman, he's responsible for Mograine being betrayed by his son and the corruption of the Ashbringer, but most of all, he further destabilized an already very unstable organization. In time, he would drive them so crazy that the Scarlet Crusade would no longer be able to see the difference between Scourge and innocence. Some of the members, they saw that the Scarlet Crusade was losing its vision, they were blinded by pure vengeance, and they moved away to form the Argent Dawn. So at this point we have two organizations in Lordaeron that are both fighting the Scourge. We have the Scarlet Crusade, which is corrupted and insane, while the Argent Dawn stays true to the mission. Now for Sylvanas. For those that don't know, Sylvanas used to be a high elf and she tried to defend her kingdom of Quel'Thalas against the Arthas and the Scourge. A traitor from within opened the gates for Arthas, and Sylvanas was unable to stand against his forces. He didn't just kill her though, she had annoyed him so much that he decided to rip her soul from her body and turn her into a banshee. That way she would be forced to obey him, watch her people get slaughtered, and even help Arthas finish the job with her banshee scream.
Finish it. I deserve a clean death.
After all you've put me through, woman, the last thing I'll give you is the peace of death.
No, you wouldn't dare.
Over time, Sylvanas would regain control. Ner'zhul's powers were draining out of him, and since Arthas was being empowered by Ner'zhul, he too lost a significant portion of his powers. Sylvanas used this opportunity to collect her body and take revenge, but she didn't want to take him out with just one blow. She wanted Arthas to suffer as much as she had, so she shot him with a poisoned arrow which would stun him but not kill him. This was a huge mistake on her part, since Kel'Thuzad he showed up just before she was able to do any more damage, and she was forced to retreat. This gave Arthas the opportunity to escape, make his way to Northrend, and get ready to merge with Ner'zhul.
You seem troubled, mistress.
Aren't you, sister? Only days ago we were the Lich King's slaves. We existed only to slaughter in his name. And now, we are free.
I don't understand, mistress. I thought you'd be overjoyed.
What joy is there in this curse? We are still undead, sister. Still monstrosities. What are we if not slaves to this torment?
Sylvanas wasn't the only one who managed to break away from Arthas, and the Scourge that were able to do this, they allied with their new queen and called themselves the Forsaken. They took Lordaeron, they created their Undercity, they allied with the Horde, and they planned a revenge against Arthas while he succeeded in becoming the Lich King. Several years passed until the Wrath of the Lich King expansion, in which we took the battle to Northrend and we took care of Arthas.
Father, is it over?
At long last. No king rules forever, my son.
I see. Only darkness before me.
Sylvanas wasn't personally there when we killed Arthas, but she did pay a visit to the top of Icecrown once the battle was done. Up on the top of Icecrown, she made a disturbing discovery as she found out that a new Lich King was placed on the throne, but she didn't really care. Her revenge was done, her Forsaken life goal was complete, so Sylvanas decided to jump, kill herself and find eternal bliss. It's sad to say, but heaven is not waiting for Sylvanas. She ended up in Warcraft's hell together with Arthas, and she was about to endure an eternity of torment. The Val'kyr, who were bound to the new Lich King, they showed up and offered Sylvanas a deal. They would ally themselves with Sylvanas, they would offer their power of resurrection and take her place in hell, and in exchange they would be free of Bolvar's control. It's up to speculation if the Val'kyr have an alternative motive, but for now they serve the Banshee Queen. And it's a good thing for the Forsaken that they do, since Forsaken troops before the Cataclysm were those struck by the plague and who wrestled themselves free from Arthas' control. That's not an unending supply of troops, so now with the Val'kyr at her side, Sylvanas has the power to create her own Forsaken.
War Chief, so glad you could make it. With the death of the Lich King, many of the more intelligent Scourge became unemployed. Those fiends, as you so delicately put it, are called Val'kyr. They are under my command now. And they are part of the reason that I asked to see you.
Get on with it, Sylvanas!
Very well, War Chief. I have solved the plight of the Forsaken. As a race, we Forsaken are unable to procreate. With the aid of the Val'kyr, we are now able to take the corpses of the fallen and create new Forsaken. Agatha, show the War Chief!
What you have done here, Sylvanas, it goes against the laws of nature. Disgusting is the only word I have to describe it.
War Chief, without these new Forsaken, my people would die out. Our hold upon Gilneas and Northern Lordaeron would crumble.
Have you given any thought to what this means, Sylvanas? What difference is there between you and the Lich King now?
Isn't it obvious, War Chief? I serve the Horde.
Watch your clever mouth, bitch!
There is another difference between Sylvanas and the Lich King, which is that Sylvanas offers them a choice. They can either join her, they can return to the grave, or they can leave the Forsaken and follow their own goals. One newly created Forsaken named Lilian Voss was given that choice, but she couldn't deal with being an undead. In life, Lilian was the daughter of High Priest Benedictus Voss, member of the Scarlet Crusade. Her whole youth was dedicated to training in the arts of stealth, sorcery and martial arts, giving up anything to make herself stronger and turning herself into a weapon against the Scourge. The World of Warcraft Ultimate Visual Guide states that Lilian died during a battle with the Forsaken. No details are given about the battle or how exactly she died, but the Forsaken have been fighting the Scarlet Crusade ever since Classic. That means that somewhere along the line, somewhere that we were killing all these Scarlet Crusade members, we actually killed Lilian, her corpse was collected, and she was resurrected as one of the Forsaken. Not everyone takes being turned into the undead as good as the player does. Some of them lose their mind, some start a rebellion, and some just can't accept their fate. Lilian runs away terrified, claiming that she can't be an undead. Not now, but she truly is. You even give her a mirror to look at herself, but Lilian refuses to accept her fate. She makes her way to her former allies, the Scarlet Crusade, thinking that surely her daddy will still love her and keep her safe. While you're questing as a Forsaken, while you're killing a few of the remaining Scarlet Crusade, you find a letter sent by Benedictus Voss. In this letter, he says that he finds it strange that they captured his daughter and not instantly killed her. All undead are the same in his eyes, and she's no longer his daughter, and he orders Lieutenant Gabler to execute her. We find Lilian inside her cage, and she still believes that once word reaches her father, he will help her out. Just at that moment, Gabler makes his way up the tower, and he tells Lilian the news. The time has come, my little captive. Word has come back from your father. High Priest Voss denounces you as a daughter. He has ordered that you be executed immediately. The High Priest sends his regrets. He had hoped that one day you'll be a powerful weapon against our enemies. Unfortunately, you were too dangerous in life and you're far too dangerous in undeath. I will enjoy killing you, you Scourge witch. Remember that Lilian was raised to be a killing machine, and pissing her off like that was not the best decision. She used her magic, and she used her fighting skills to jump out of her cage, and she murders Goblin. She then claims that although the world of the living may have turned its back on her, she's no damned scourge.
Beware the living.
Instead of keeping her as an ally, the Scarlet Crusade actually turned her into their worst enemy. Later on, we find another letter that tells that Benedictus Voss has put out a hit on his own daughter. The Crusader who returns his daughter's head to him will be rewarded with 1,000 gold, but Lilian is no easy prey. As we continue our questline, we find a Scarlet encampment with all the members burned to a crisp and their lieutenant dead, hanging upside down on a chain. From the shadows, Lilian whispers that she could instantly kill you if she wanted to. She explains her story and she wants to pay a little visit to her dear old dad. We get to join her and witness how easily she takes care of any Crusader, and in the tower her father's guards die instantly. Lilian finds her father and she confronts him with what he has done. You raised me to be a killer. How am I doing, Daddy? But wait, I remember now. You taught me only to kill the undead. So do you want me to kill myself, Daddy? Then again, why kill myself when I can kill you instead? Lilian picks up her father, she jumps up the tower and she chokes the life out of him. This takes care of the immediate threat, but there are more Crusaders still alive, so Lilian's next target is the Scarlet Monastery. She disguised herself as a hooded Crusader as she puts us on the task of killing as many Crusaders as we can and collecting the Codex of the Crusade. The Codex contains a list with every known member of the Crusade. This is valuable knowledge for someone who's on a mission to kill them all, but Flameweaver Kugler is busy burning all the information.
Everything must burn! None shall know the Scarlet Crusade's shame!
He wants to burn down all the Crusade's records in an attempt to hide their corruption and shame. We manage to kill him before he burns down everything, and Lilian gets her hands on the Codex. That's one part of the plan done. Next it's time to kill High Inquisitor Whitemane. The reason for this is that Whitemane is the one who keeps on resurrecting those members that we kill. As you can see during the fight, she has this mass resurrection ability, so to end the Crusade, we'll have to end her. To kill her once and for all, we stab her with the 2 anointed blades who are resting within the monastery. With the deed done, Lilian shows up, she reveals herself and she takes the 2 rune blades for herself. They'll definitely come in handy, especially since she's going to take the fight to Scolomance to deal with Dark Master Gendling. On our way to Scolomance, Lilian burns down a Crusader camp, and you might wonder why is she going to Scolomance? Well, Lilian hates being undead, she hates the fact that she's resurrected, and she wants to save anyone else from a fate similar to hers. Scolomance used to be in the hands of the Baroff family, but they made a deal with the human mage Kel'Thuzad. Kel'Thuzad was an agent of the Lich King, and he was working on spreading the plague through Lordaeron and the formation of the Cult of the Damned. In exchange for the home and land, the Baroff family will be rewarded with immortality, and the Lich King actually held up his end of the bargain. He killed them, resurrected them, they were immortal. Putting an end to this school would be a heavy blow against necromancy, but I personally think she also did it because this is pretty much the birthplace of the plague that hit Lordaeron. Without the plague, Arthas wouldn't become a Death Knight, and the Scarlet Crusade would never have existed. Which means that the reason why she didn't have a normal childhood, why her father wanted her dead, was because of this place. That's just my interpretation, so take that as you will. Either way, we find Lilian inside of Scolomance fighting an army of undead while she's trying to reach Dark Master Gendling.
My dear, it appears we have visitors. Friends of yours, Voss?
You there! Make yourselves useful and deal with these summoners.
Their deaths only serve to empower my summoners further. Behold!
Feed their souls to their brethren? Or sink?
What's the matter, Voss? Getting tired?
Never stop hunting your kind, necromancer. Never!
Isn't it beautiful? The weaving of flesh and bone and soul.
We'll see if you revel so much in death once I've ripped out your throat.
You too are beautiful, Voss. Have you looked in a mirror recently?
Pay for your tongue.
My dear, you should embrace this gift that has been bestowed upon you.
not let you curse another soul with this nightmare. Run, Necromancer. Your life ends once I catch my breath.
Come, Voss. Your fate awaits you.
We take out Redogor and we follow Lilian.
Did you forget, girl? I am the Dark Master. I command the undead.
I won't let you.
Now turn your lovely rune blades on our guests and fetch me their bones.
I can't fight him.
I can feel her will breaking. Now, Lilian, it is time for your transformation.
End it now, before he can.
Your soul is mine!
The Dark Master uses his powers of necromancy to rip Lilian's soul from her body, and that has to be painful. Now this incredibly powerful crusader is turned against us, but we manage to smack some sense into her, she breaks Gandling's control, and she attacks the necromancer.
Why let a perfectly good corpse go to waste? Oh, how intriguing. Her spirit will not relinquish its grasp in this world.
My soul, it burns.
How does it feel, Voss, to watch them hack your mortal body to pieces? What?
Die, Necromancer!
The bones! Oh, you wretch!
Leave me to die alone, please.
Lilian asks of us to leave her and let her die alone, which of course means that she didn't die at all. Lilian is still alive and kicking somewhere, so she still has a part to play in the story. What we see in all of this is that Lilian, she hates the Scarlet Crusade and she hates necromancy. The Scarlet Crusade is pretty much gone now, and since Lilian knows all their names, I'd imagine that she's currently busy with killing off those remaining few. She is also taking care of the main school of necromancy, so that leaves the question, what is she going to do next? Who would be a prime target for someone like Lilian Voss? And since the new Lich King is pretty much on our side, that leaves only one main target. The one who brought back Lilian in the first place, Sylvanas, her Val'kyr, and the Forsaken. If they're ever going to deal with Sylvanas and all the things that she's doing, then I'd imagine that Lilian would have a big role to play in that story. This could be as a spearhead against Sylvanas, this could be as a plot twist as one of her most powerful lieutenants, or perhaps she'll be the one who finally saves Kaltera from Undercity. For those who've ever quested through the Death Knight starting area, who have done the battle for Anderhall, you might remember Sylvanas taking this Death Knight into the Undercity. He wasn't fully obedient, he had an allegiance with the Alliance, so Sylvanas wanted to take care of that, and this was back during the Cataclysm. Ever since then we haven't heard about him, so who knows what Sylvanas been doing, what she's planning, and what she wants to do. We know that Sylvanas, her one motivation currently is to stay alive, and I can't wait to see where they might take this story, what they might do with Lilian, since she's one hell of a badass. I also wouldn't mind like a short story which explains how Lilian's human life was. The Crusader who tried to kill her on top of the tower said that she was too dangerous in life, which gives the idea that maybe her father set her up to die, maybe some of the Crusaders were like, okay, she's a little bit too powerful. It has a lot of room for some amazing storytelling.
Do not tempt my wrath.
That's all speculation though, and we'll have to wait and see where the story is going to go. They said at BlizzCon that they're not going to deal with Sylvanas during Warlords of Draenor, so Sylvanas, the Scourge story, Return of the Lich Queen, all of that is still waiting for us. For now, I'm going to end this video, so thank you very much for watching everyone. Subscribe if you like my videos, and until next time guys, see ya!